Hi, I'm back with another wealthy habit. You're on the Wealthy Habit series. This is wealthy habit number 5, getting the most amount of value for the least amount of your money. This might sound contradictory, but we should know that businesses are focused on getting the maximum amount of money out of us, whereas we should be focused on getting the maximum amount of value for the least amount of money. The reason this is an important habit is because I routinely see people around me paying extra for things that is otherwise not called for, missing out on deductions or on taxes or on additions that should otherwise have not been part of the bill or whatever payment that they're making. When we talk about getting the most amount of value for the least amount of money, usual concepts such as bargaining, being cheap or stingy actually come to the fore. Getting the most amount of value for the least amount of your money doesn't exactly mean any of these things. It just means that you're conscious of what you're paying for and you're not leaving money on the table that is otherwise yours. Now, if we don't have money that is left over, how will we ever have a surplus that we will actually invest, which will create wealth for us? That is the reason this is such an important habit. Now, how does one cultivate a habit like this? As you start going down this path, it may be a bit uncomfortable and may amount to stepping outside of your comfort zone. Persist with it, the results are worth it. Let me share the first tactic that you can use to get the most value for your money. Look for alternatives. Shop around. For instance, when you buy medicines, when you buy a generic version of the same medicine, you end up paying about 15 to 20% lesser. If you're buying furniture, if you ask for a floor sample or if you're buying a floor sample furniture, you possibly end up saving upwards of 30 to 40%. And with furniture that ages gracefully, your furniture might actually grow in value. If you're in the market for a car, look for a certified used car. In fact, one of the key things about certified used cars is that you may be able to get a luxury certified used car for the same price of a non-luxury car. That's a big kicker. Electronics, which a lot of us buy, end up losing most of their value in about 2 to 3 years' time. So therefore, is it worth paying full price for electronics? Go ask for refreshed items, which used to be earlier called as refurbished items. Manufacturers are putting in a lot of effort to make refurbished or refreshed products work the same way as new products do. When you buy these products, these products again cost anywhere between 20 to 30% cheaper than the list price or the sale price. Last but not the least, there are always discretionary discounts that one can avail in a store. If you are in Asia or India, you can bargain and ask for lower prices. But if you're in the West, which predominantly has fixed price, there are always discretionary discounts or hidden sales that are going on. It may involve joining a loyalty program, sharing your email address. As long as you're satisfied that the conditions are met, you may be able to save 15% or 20% of your bill. Never forget these things. Another thing that you should do is check the bill or the invoice or the check that you have been provided. If one was not provided, definitely ask for it and ask for an itemized bill, because an itemized bill actually tells you what were you billed for. For instance, a lot of people dine in at restaurants, and I have seen hordes of them not even asking for a check or a bill, and when one is provided, they're very rarely scrutinized. I have encountered innumerable instances where such checks or invoices contain items that have been billed to us which we may have not even ordered. On top of that, there are things such as service charges, which are discretionary levies by the restaurant. You may find this surprising, but did you know that service charge is something that you can ask for a waiver? You can ask that it be waived and you can pay whatever you think is the appropriate service charge. Further, another mistake where a lot of people make is not obtaining tax bills for their purchases. A lot of businesses, especially businesses that either obtain a VAT bill or a GST bill, can claim that input credit for something that they have purchased if it was a business purchase. It usually results in anywhere between 15 to 20% difference in the cost. Meaning, if you obtained a tax bill through the input tax, you're likely to reduce your cost by 15 to 20% because that will go down as an input credit. A good anecdote that I can share with you is when I went to Japan last year, if I showed them that I was a tourist, the tax would automatically be taken off and the cost of the item would be lesser for me by about 10 to 15%. So check for your bills, make sure that they are correct, and make sure that the taxes and the items that you are billed for are correct. Pay attention to your taxes. A lot of us are ignorant about tax codes, rebates, deductions. This means we end up leaving a lot of taxes on the table. Did you know that if you were running a side hustle and if your side hustle did not make any money or it lost money, you can set off that against revenues or salary that you earn from another job or another business? A lot of people, even in business, are not aware of things like this. I will elaborate more on this in another video, but this is something that you should internalize. Pay attention to your taxes. So get wise, become aware, and you'll see that it is going to be a rewarding journey watching that you now start saving or having a little more money for everyday purchases or decisions that you were making. You are going to have a lot of fun and you are actually going to be happy that you began on this path.